Hi, I'm Dr. David Dobson. Welcome to Conversations. Today, my guest is Dr. Armağan Özbilge. Armağan is an assistant professor at the Faculty of Management, Dalhousie University. He obtained his PhD in management science from McMaster University at the DeGroote School of Business. His research interests include sustainable operations and omnichannel retailing. Today, we will discuss Armağan's research on food rescue and charitable giving. It's a great pleasure to have you with me today, Armağan.
Pleasure is all mine. Thanks for the invitation. Happy to be here, being part of your conversation series.
Your doctoral research focused on charitable giving. Can you share why you were interested in this particular area?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, actually, it started with my supervisor offering me some research subjects at the beginning of my PhD. Now, when I looked at the topics, actually there was no charitable giving or not even sustainable operations. But I saw that the perishable inventory management in the area of Internet of Things. Then, I was like, it just intrigued me. So the other topics were also very popular too. I was like, one of them was about big data. The other one was disruptions, because like when I started, there was no COVID pandemic. But after, the supply chain disruptions, it became a popular topic too. I think my supervisor knew what he was doing.
Okay.
So I picked that perishable inventory management topic.
Yeah.
After scanning the literature a little bit, I just noticed there's they use a little bit of food chemistry to model the perishability of the papers, and that IFT stuff that helps us estimate the quality. I said, oh, so that's great. Maybe I can get something out of it. Then I dig more. And then when I look at the kind of the salient works in the area, I noticed that everybody is like, when you have a perishable inventory, they tell you how to price it in the clearance period. But it is always is like sometimes depending on the circumstances, market conditions, they consider discarding the food. So then I thought, why are we doing this? The food is in edible condition. And the most respected researchers in the area, they say, okay, discard the food. And to increase the overall profit of the firms. They're after all for-profit organizations. So then I saw some kind of a primitive works on charitable giving of in terms of maybe not perishables, but pantry goods or durable goods. Then I said, okay, so I felt like maybe I could do better. And actually my supervisor gave me a heads up, because it was at the time it was a very novel topic. Nobody discussed that. He told me that I will probably see some resistance in the academic community while trying to submit the papers, because it's just it's not there. But I was ambitious at the time. I was dedicated. I said, okay, we could make it this work. And I'm glad right now that I just picked that topic and started working on it. I'm very happy with where it brought me now and where I'm going towards.
And obviously, with this food price increase and the inflation, so your topic even become more important.
Yeah. I mean, there's always a lot of issues around the disposing of edible food. But right now it is, as you said, it is maybe more relevant than ever due to that rising cost of living.
Your research suggests that charitable donations can enhance corporate profit. Can you explain your results?
Yes. Well, actually, my results, depending on the maybe conventional inventory management models. I revisit those models, and the problem with those models is that maybe the theoretically speaking, so when they have the random demand distribution, they look at the upper tail, right tail, where demand can surge in the shocks. So they would like to arrange what we call is the service level accordingly. In practice, what does it mean? That they overstock. to,
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
to
yeah.
keep the shelves full, so that the when people
Ah,
walk in, they will see
yeah,
full shelves. So
yeah.
they will not, you know, renegade to other
Ah,
markets.
all right.
So, and what they do
Interesting.
is they
Yeah.
try to sell these
Mm,
products,
yeah,
overstock products.
yeah,
Once they notice that they won't able to clear whole inventory.
yeah,
So what they do is they make a
yeah,
very deep discount at
yeah,
the very end of
yeah,
the life cycle of the
yeah,
products,
yeah,
really at the end of the
yeah,
day, for
yeah,
example.
yeah.
So, and it is too late to be donated or to be done anything.
Right.
So
Yeah,
what I recommend is that,
yeah,
okay, so it's like, since we have that IoT technology right now,
yeah,
you know, the everything is connected. You have the room temperatures,
yeah.
everything.
Yes.
We can better estimate the quality or the deterioration process of the goods.
Right.
And this brings us to the case that you can foresee that, you know, after some time of the regular sales period, whatever is
Uh-huh.
that, you
Uh-huh.
can estimate that, you know, okay, I'm gonna have some surplus food at
Mm-hmm.
the end of the selling period,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe donate some of your inventory
Right.
and make a shallow discount. Why are you doing a very deep discount, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that just keeps you know, things
Yeah.
stable. It also
Yeah.
avoids, you know, the
Yeah.
some consumers are behavioral. They
Yeah.
wait for
Yeah.
clearance period to do
Right.
shopping. It
Yeah.
will also, you know, alleviate some of the profit loss due to those strategic
Yeah.
behaviors,
Yeah.
and it helps overall community.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. I think you raise very interesting point. You know, when we walk into the store, the shelves are full of food, full of stock, you know what I mean? And perhaps overstocked. And I was wondering about, is there like a consumer psychology? Because if you see the shelves are full with food, they don't feel there's a scarcity. But when there's scarcity of food, remember there was a time when there's a few food. I remember during pandemic time, and all the tissue papers were gone and paper towels were gone, and there was a panic. So when people see a few food on the shelf, then it triggered a panic aspect, and that's, do you think that's the reason why the stores or retailers feel compelled to kind of, I don't know, put more food on the shelves than necessary?
Yeah, I mean, those times, they were, you know,
Yeah,
extraordinary times, of course.
yeah,
But you know,
yeah,
like the
yeah,
in a, let's say, regular setting, if you go to a supermarket and if you see the shelves empty,
yeah.
it's very likely that next time you will go somewhere else. So it's
Yes,
like,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it will definitely
Okay,
that, you know, what
yeah,
we call is the, you know, loss of customer goodwill, or, you know,
okay,
maybe shortage cost.
okay,
So
okay. Yeah,
once you have that situation, it
yeah,
means that, you know, it's like consumers will tend to switch
yeah.
grocery retailers in
Okay,
between because the shelves are empty. So they don't
okay.
want to, you know, when you look at
Right.
when you look for a milk
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and you can't find it. So
yeah.
what are you gonna do is you go somewhere else to,
Right.
you know, buy
Yeah,
it, right?
yeah. So that's a very good point, and I think you talk about the lost cost of goodwill, and I think perhaps that also compel stores to make sure that they have all the food item or all the product in the store.
Yeah, yeah, indeed, indeed. This is why actually they're hanging in the food
Yeah,
until the last time. They
yeah,
would like to just, you know,
yeah,
replenish the cells
yeah,
and get rid of all the remaining
yeah,
items. But it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
the all remaining items, when they
yeah,
are still full shelf of items,
yeah,
it's really hard to, you know,
yeah, yeah,
rescue that food because it's like it's at the
yeah,
end of the life cycle.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Very interesting. I want to ask you, how did you go about researching this topic?
Yeah, so a good question. So, yeah, actually, by the time I started working on this topic, there
Yeah,
was not really much of data or whatever. You know, it's like
yeah,
the, I know I knew that I wasn't
yeah,
able to
yeah,
work on it
yeah,
from an empirical
yeah,
perspective.
yeah,
So what I did is, you know,
yeah,
it's like my work was, you know, that donation
yeah,
as a decision variable, you
yeah,
know, for the retailer, it
yeah.
was, you know, kind of a novelty. So
Right.
I started with a, you know, kind of a conceptualizing the
Hmm.
thing.
Yeah,
And then, you know, I decided, you know, how can I incorporate
yeah,
this as a decision into
right.
retailers' decision
Yeah,
making mechanism.
Okay.
So that brought me to, mostly analytical work, because
Okay.
it's like to be able to convince anybody before doing anything,
Yeah.
I just needed to show mathematically it
Yeah.
makes sense to
Right.
donate goods.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
show that,
Yeah.
in that robust
Yeah.
manner, so to
Yeah.
say, I
Yeah.
had to work analytically. So
Yeah.
most of my work is on, is like
Hmm.
it's a theoretical work,
Yes.
finding mathematical results.
Yeah. Yeah. For your research, did you choose a specific retailer? Did you collect your data? Like, how did you collect the data? Like for your project?
So for the basis of the work is
Yeah.
just I just developed a profit function
Okay.
for the retailer and
Okay.
worked on that.
Okay.
Later, there are
Yeah.
some I found some retail chain data available
Okay.
on the web
Okay.
or in the
Okay.
available from the previous studies, and I
Okay.
used
Okay.
that data to create a
Okay.
benchmark.
Okay.
What happens if you don't donate, and what happens
Okay.
if you donate, so that I
Okay.
could gather so to
Okay.
say a solid
Right.
comparison between the in
Okay.
quantifying contributions of the
Right.
charitable giving.
Okay. Arman, what are the implications of your research for businesses and government?
Oh yeah. So yeah, actually the maybe the one of the most robust outcomes is that
Yeah.
we need a
Yeah. Yeah.
systematic change,
Yeah. Okay.
and we need a
Yeah.
kind of a well-defined
Yeah.
policy
Yeah.
on corporate charitable food donations,
Okay.
so that retailers don't
Uh-huh.
have to dump their food, and
Right.
that food can be
Okay.
distributed to people in need.
Right.
you know
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's it was like
Yeah.
due to a part
Mhm.
of our partnership, but before
Mhm.
that I have
Mhm.
always had interest in
Mhm.
food banks
Mhm.
Canada's
Yeah.
findings, and
Yeah.
they said that, for example, in 2023 there were
Uh-huh.
like 1.5 million visits
Yeah.
just in March 2022.
Wow.
I'm sorry, March 2022, 1.5 million visits to
Mm.
food banks. So
Mm.
that, we thought that it can't
Mm.
get any worse.
Yeah.
And March 2023, the
Uh-huh.
number jumped to 1.9 million people
Wow.
just in 1 month. So it's
Okay.
just, I think
Yeah.
it points out kind of a,
Yeah.
systematic struggle.
Yeah.
Uh, I
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
there are hidden synergies in the
Mm-hmm.
food rescue ecosystem.
Mm.
And to
Mm.
reveal that, more
Mm.
research should be done.
Right.
So one of my works,
Mm-hmm.
it's undergoing review right now,
Okay.
is actually looking at the US government's
Uh-huh.
tax deduction policy for charitable giving.
Okay. Okay.
And we show that it
All
is
right.
how inefficient it is
Okay.
to
Yeah.
motivate charitable giving. Most of the times it benefits the retailers.
Right.
Society,
Yeah.
in terms of maybe you can consider this as a purchasing power.
Right.
It's sometimes even negatively affected
Uh-huh.
by those tax deductions offered to the retailer.
Okay.
So this is
Mm-hmm.
why actually there is kind of a comprehensive
Okay.
analysis needed around
Okay.
all those issues.
So you're saying
Yeah.
that at this point, at least in Canada, so if the retailer give away their food, they don't get any like tax benefit for the food they hand out, or they do out of their only just goodwill.
There is no federal tax law on that.
Okay.
What we have is, for example, in Ontario,
Uh-huh.
farmers get fair market value of the goods they
Okay.
donate. It's
Okay.
just to support the
Yeah.
production of the food.
Okay.
So but yeah,
Hmm.
basically there is no benefit. They do it out of goodwill, or
Okay.
sometimes they're let's say they order a pallet
Mm-hmm.
of food. It
Okay.
arrives one day early, and they do
Okay.
not have shelf space to store it. So what they
Oh.
do is they quickly try to donate it.
Okay.
So those kind of a coincidental
Okay.
mismatch in the supply and demand
Mm-hmm.
causes donations.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
but other than that, or
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
ESG
Yeah.
initiatives, there is
Yeah.
no reward
Yeah.
from the government side in terms
Yeah.
of tax benefits.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, we are
Yeah.
working on an
Mm.
NSERC Alliance Option
Okay.
2 grant.
Okay.
It's been submitted recently
Okay.
to address this issue.
Yeah.
If it gets accepted, actually, we hope to use the sharing economy drivers like Uber
Right.
drivers, DoorDash drivers
Yeah.
to pick up and deliver donations directly
Oh.
to people in need
Oh,
to
wow.
just make the giving more convenient
Yeah.
for the retailers too.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And I think you're raising some of the very interesting and important point, especially you talk about this. There's so much need for the food bank, with I mean, I don't know exact number, but I hear all the time food bank making appeal after appeal, even after holidays. And during holidays, there's so many people depends on food bank, and they are always running short of food. I mean, and I think this is perhaps a good incentive, and instead of food going, get discarded, it can be rescued and go back to where people need the most.
Yeah, definitely.
To those who want to continue this research, what is your advice to future researchers, Armand?
Yeah, so it's like if I was a PhD student right now,
Okay.
what I would do is I will connect directly with the charities,
Yeah.
retailers,
Okay.
the stakeholders of
Yeah.
the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Because this is right now at the research in this field at a phase that
Yeah.
requires
Yeah.
more stakeholder input
Yeah.
than ever.
Yeah.
Then maybe those conversations
Yeah.
they can lead more potent research
Yeah.
questions,
Yeah.
and it will definitely make more impact
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah.
So that will be my my recommendation
Okay.
to new researchers in the field.
Thank you for your time, Armand. Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Thank you so much